Today, we are thrilled to welcome a truly remarkable guest. She is an international speaker, global CEO, and the founder of Ignite Purpose, dedicated to helping leaders and communities choose connection over fear and build genuine resilience. With over 25 years of experience transforming cultures across 4 continents, she is also a prolific author who has written 5 impactful books, including Brave, The Courage to Rise, and The Glass Angel. Please welcome to the stage, Christina Foxwell.
Hi, everybody. What a joy to be with you today. So, I was born here in South Africa. Please give me a round of applause. Yeah. So let me explain to you how I introduce myself. I am an Indigenous African woman. I am proud of my heritage. And you know where I learned that? Australia. Because the Indigenous community there says, if you're born outside of Australia, you come to Australia to learn and to heal. If you are born in Australia, you're a teacher. Now, let me tell you, Australia was my door to healing. Thank you, Australia. Thank you for the warm welcome today. If it wasn't for the Maisie family, who I had learned to know 22 years ago. My son is now 22 on the 12th of August. I was a heavily pregnant girl rolling out this program, and Ricky Maisie was the kindest man I have probably ever met. So if you haven't met the Maisie family and the Maisie business, get to know them. They're wonderful people. However, and when I seeded our business back into Africa, Africa's called my name. Don't you like that? Because what am I? An Indigenous African woman. And I am proud of my heritage. What is my heritage? It's a mixed bag. I have got 52 DNA strands. Do we have Germany here? 50% is German. I don't know how. And the rest is African and everything else in between. I'm thrilled to speak to you today because I'm a woman that leads. And I didn't want to be a consultant. Actually, I've always been a leader. But I was on this global executive team and I was tired of the wrestle. I used to call it blood on the dance floor. I'm thinking of Michael Jackson. And I was the only female director in Asia Pacific, working for an international American consulting practice. I was the only female sales director. All the other colleagues, one was ex-IBM. He had gone to some university in the UK. One was from a law family and background. Beautiful white boy. Okay. And me. And then a few other Americans. And they said to me, "Who are you?" I said, "I am me." Do you think they liked me? I was a bit tough. But I've learned that I don't have to be tough to be strong. I can be grounded to be strong. See, when I'm tough, do I move with the wind? No, I'm like a rigid oak. But when I'm grounded, the wind happens and I flow. So welcome to the talk today. I'm so excited. Now, if I speak in an Australian accent, forgive me because they don't understand South African English. Okay? And if I come out with a British accent, forgive me, I married a Mr. Darcy from Bridget Jones. An Englishman living in Australia, and I met him in Canada. And when a big newspaper did a write-up on me, he doesn't show up on any newspapers, not interested, not doing that. And they said, I married a Canadian. Oh, I said, do you want to? He said, no, you married a Canadian. The newspaper got it wrong. I'm not a Canadian. No more newsprints. So if I come out with strange accents, forgive me. If you don't understand what I'm saying, be brave, raise your hand and ask for a mic and ask the question. Sound okay? Are we ready? Good. Now, how do I do this? Where are my beautiful people? I'm just going to press a button. Do I press a button? There we go. 2 pink suitcases. I want to introduce you to Brave. I fell in love with an Englishman living in Australia, and he said to me, come and look what it's like here, and I realized he is not streetwise. He will die if he lives here. He used to leave his phone. We call it a mobile phone. He used to leave his mobile phone at different places. And I was like, no, darling, you will not make it in this country. I go and visit him. I've got 2 children from previous relationships, ladies. Yes, I was giving Elizabeth Taylor a run for her money. A run for her money. I think I've been engaged 9 times. Why they keep wanting to marry me, I do not know. Must be the energy I give off, right? Actually, I have to tell you, ladies, when I've coached and I've gone on business and I get on an aeroplane, I never speak to the man next to me. Do you know why? Because I'm so open and generous, and I see him and he thinks, oh my God, she sees me. I'm in love. And by the time I get off the plane, he's in love. And I'm like, dude, that was just a conversation. It's my job. So now I'll colour in, put AirPods in, listen to cello music, and treat people with grace. Because I really don't want to have an argument on a plane. So 2 pink suitcases. I arrive in Australia. My little boy's 3. My daughter is 11. 2 pink suitcases. I'm on a 457 visa. So when you go to a new country, please, you realize you're up for the biggest leadership growth you've ever imagined. You know? Because they don't care what you did in Africa because you're an African. I always call it, I'm the brown girl that fell off the boat. So I arrive, and I was challenged to step into the arena of my life in a new way. You see, when you're here, apparently you're my kind. Please give a round of applause for that. I'm so happy to be here that I'm here every 3 months for a month. Tell me I've come home. My English husband is so worried I'll find another husband. Just not another South African. I had too many of those, it's international flavor. So let me explain the arena of your life. How many of you show up every single day and do the best you can? Raise your hand. Okay. I honor you. I honor you. When you're called to stand in the arena of your life, it means you're going to stand and things are going to happen to you, but you're going to show up bravely. So I show up bravely in Australia. The first thing I do is I go to a coffee shop in Bondi. Now, I have Jewish heritage, but I'm not Jewish, okay? And every person that comes by is, are you Jewish? No. Are you Chilean? No. What are you? African. But you're not African? I said, your eyes deceive you, people. There's not lions running around in the street. I'm an African. Anyway, I stand asking for a coffee. Now, I can be pretty direct. Do you think we can be pretty direct? Yes, that's why my husband doesn't hang out with South Africans. He just married one. And I said, can I have a coffee, please? And the man said to me, can I? Can you really? And I was like, what did I say wrong? He said, why are you so direct? And I was like, I just asked for a coffee. Okay, the arena of your life. So I'm going to explain something to you and then I'm going to come back to my story. Imagine we live in this arena. You've all watched Gladiator, please tell me you have. Gosh, those guys look great. Okay, how many husbands? 4, done. By the way, that's my party joke. I've made peace with my story. Because we all have a story. You can't tell me you don't. So we're in this arena, we're showing up bravely, we've shown up, we were here to work, to live, to do. And in that arena, life happens. And you've got a choice as life happens. The first choice is, and I'm going to talk about armor this morning. Have you ever heard of a ninja Barbie? I see some ninja Barbies in this room. Okay. Have you seen Transformers? You know the movie Transformers? Okay. So you mess with an African woman, I'm going to show you a Transformer mode. Okay. Especially one that's had as many husbands as I have, like chop suey, honey. Sushi. You said what? Okay. So let's go back to the arena. Life happens. I have to protect myself. Do you know that's what happens when life happens? Okay. So the first thing that my instinct does is the automatic armor I have, my ninja Barbie shows up. In that moment, I no longer feel, I do not care, and I'll be the next incident in someone else's arena. You get me? Okay. The problem is, in that moment, I am not the real me. I am not the kind, generous, engaging, warm, beautiful human being. I am this armored up ninja that's now going to take your face off and then donate it to somebody else. Okay. With a smile. So, let me talk to you about the other option I have when life happens, right? The first option, you know what I mean? By the way, that's why you end up with 4 husbands. Not a good look when your dad is a pastor. And your brothers have all stayed married and you're the one who keeps exchanging people like shoes. Okay. Yeah, are you enjoying today? Thanks, Abisha, for bringing me from down under. So, I've got the ninja thing going on. Or, let me tell you what Australia taught me. To be me. To be brave. And in that moment, to tell the thing, or if it's a person that's running to me with their little noddy car, written right over me, I'll go, look, I have to say something to you. What you just did, it's not okay. So next time, can you please ride past me? Because to ride over me is not ever going to happen again. And I say that, and I keep loving the world. And I keep my heart open. And I keep connected energy flowing. And I forgive and release, and I surrender. And I can show compassion and grace. And I can love with my whole heart. Isn't that who you want to be? Because that is what frees you as an African woman to rise. When you run around like a ninja Barbie, you take away your ability to lead authentically and to create followership. I had a whole slide deck prepared. I don't know why I do that. Are you okay if I just keep talking? Okay, good. So the arena. So I learned how to be grounded. So how many husbands did I say I have? So I'm on number 4. Please may this be the last. I always said maybe I want to exchange. No. Okay, 4. I'm going to share with you, when you do not use your voice, listen to me. When you do not use your voice, and not in a form of anger, but from a place of knowing who you are, you cannot set boundaries. And let me tell you something else. Did you grow up with your mother teaching you to write a love letter to yourself? No. How many of us grew up with, if you dared ask if you looked pretty today, or your parents would put you in a box and tell you that's vain and you better behave yourself? Did you grow up with that? Behave yourself. Be humble. That was my dad. I remember coming out of the room with a pretty dress. I had 3 brothers, by the way. I'm the only girl. And I said, Daddy, how do I look? Is it pretty? He said, be humble. First time I wear makeup, he goes, come here. Wipes it off. I know he loved me. He's passed now. But all he wanted to do was protect me. In his doing the best he could with what he has, his protection took my voice away. At the age of 17, I was helping my dad in the community, in the church. I ran the youth group. I was the music director. Yes, I can play the piano and sing, but you're not getting anything from me today like that. And I said to him, Dad, I've decided I want to be a minister. He looked at me and said, girls don't do that. How many of you heard girls don't do that? Raise your hand. Okay, I'm going to tell you the truth. Girls do that. Do you want to say it with me? Girls do that. And by the way, we need men. They balance us. And please don't take their masculinity away. Let them be the king of your life while you reign as the queen. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a round. He's got to be the king. And you are the? Thank you. And if you're married to a queen, that's okay too. If there are 2 queens reigning in your kingdom, girl, do your thing. Okay. So have I told you about the arena now? I've got to be grounded. But do you know, my natural instinct is not to do that. My natural instinct is to armor up. Or, let me tell you the next thing I do. Now, ladies, you got to own this shit because no one else is going to own it for you. You crawl painfully to the corner of the arena. You are bloodied, you are bruised, you're embarrassed. Life's happened to you. And you stand up. And instead of encouraging the other people that are showing up in the arena of their life, you are envious, you are angry, you are mean. So you shout from the sidelines. And you're not very nice. Actually, I'm never nice. I'm just kind, okay? But you're not the good part of who you are. Have you done that? Own it. I have. That's the second option. Let me take you to the third option. When that stuff happened in the arena because you chose to show up bravely, the shame of what you experienced was so big that you crawled to the stands of the arena and you hide, hoping that no one will see you. Please tell me you've been there too. Raise your hand. I want to see it. Okay. Do you know how hard it is to come back from that? You see, I can't lead when I'm in the stands. I'm stuck under a mushroom of my own fear. So, if you want to lead, the first thing you've got to recognize is the story people have told you is not the story of who you are. Okay? I'm going to say it again. The story people have told you is not the story of who you are. You are the author of your life. You write the story. If I show up, who's shown up? Me or you? Me. So in that moment, I have choice. But do you know, my brain doesn't work if my fear overrides it. Neuroscience people, did you grow up with siblings? Anyone have siblings here? Okay. Did your naughty siblings ever give you a fright? Boo! Did they please? That was before AI and all that great stuff. That's when we were just like crazy human beings running around, right? And then what happens when someone gives you a fright? Please tell me what happens to your body. I can't hear you. Can you think in that moment? No. Do you want to be the leader you're destined to be? Do you? Do you want me to give you some ideas how? The first thing is you choose. What? Yourself. So, I run a small, niche global practice. And I want to tell you, I fail more times than I don't. Because failure is learning. But how many of us avoid in something that might result in failure? How many of us avoid it? Do we avoid it? Why? Why don't we want to fail? Do you know why? Because the woman and the men standing next to me might judge me. And let me tell you this, is one thing as a human being that I need above everything else, and that is acceptance and belonging. So when I fail, instead of you going, well done for trying, what is the opportunity? We go, you should not have made that choice. That was a bad decision. How could you do that? Have any of you heard that stuff before? Okay, now I'm going to give you a gift. You know you do not have to take that shit on board. Did you know that? So I was watching a podcast this week. Adrian Gore, his new book is out. You know who Adrian Gore is? He's the founder of Discovery. Not the spacecraft. Okay? The health insurance company. I know, you got to laugh with me, ladies in the back. Are you still awake? Yes? Are you having fun? Good. He said something interesting. He said you've got to learn how to make courageous decisions, and then when it doesn't work, you've got to find the opportunity. Okay, so, do you want to learn about how I led through bravely? I'm so filled with courage. I write this book, The Glass Angel, which is my story moving from a ninja Barbie to a powerful, indigenous, African woman. Who am I? Who are you? Indigenous, African woman. I want it one more time. Who are you? Indigenous, African, woman. Are you ready to rise? Do you know the time is now? But you cannot rise if you believe the shit people have told you. You can't do that. You're not a good mother. Just because you didn't put the earbuds in the bag for the baby. Okay? No, really. You can't cook. Hey man, can you? You got hands? You got hands? I don't cook at home anymore, by the way. My British Mr. Darcy, he cooks. He does the laundry. Tell me I've got a good man. I'd like to. He really likes doing it. I said, can I please go buy groceries? He goes, darling, you buy too much food. I said, but I come from Africa. We like food. He said, I come from England and we only eat what we need. Must tell you, I've lost 40 kilos in the last 3 years. Now I eat out of his plates. Okay. Anyway, coming back to the stories. You see, I was eating my way out of the pain. I was working my way to not experience pain, to show people I'm good enough. I had to make sales numbers. Man, I love selling. Who loves selling? We all sell people. How do you think I get 4 husbands? It's not how I look, honey. Do you like my joke around 4 husbands? He kind of copes when he's in the room with me. He hides. He's not here today, by the way. Okay, so if I believe the stories people have told me about who I am not, do you hear I ended it with the not? I believe that. I will be stuck. And I will never realize my potential. Do you know your potential is limitless? Let me tell you, you know what my first job was? Can I tell you? My dad couldn't afford to send me to university. They were eating apples, man. Because people in the community weren't paying their tithes. And if they don't pay their tithes, the minister doesn't eat. Did you know that? Please, if you're in a church, pay your tithes. So the minister can eat. Okay? Yes, true story. So I can't go to university. All my friends are going to university. I get a job in retail. Behind the till, people. I'm here, I'm showing up. Okay? Happy? I work and I'm thinking, is this what my life's going to be like? I'm so thirsty for knowledge. This can't be my life. If I could whisper in my ear, back then, I would whisper, wait. Walk through your life. Your time is coming. So for any of you who possibly sit in a job or in an environment, wait. What's coming? Your time is coming. To do what? To live my potential. To lead in this industry. To make a difference. You see, it's not about power. If you want to be a leader because you want power, I have news for you. You're going to wait a long time. If you want to lead because you want to make a difference, let me tell you, it'll happen. So you know what my purpose is? Can any of you guess? Do you want me to tell you? Like my son goes, are you tapping out? Are you tapping out, Mom? Actually, that's my daughter when I have to give the baby back and I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't take another single second of my gorgeous grandchild. I've just got to give them back, right? Yes, I am a grandmother. I am. Here's the thought. What was I saying? Because I was thinking of my grandbaby and my brain went, purpose to make a difference to one person's life a day. If it's at an aeroplane, if I'm standing paying for my groceries, if I have money in my pocket to give to someone, I don't need the rest of the world to know. Please don't video yourself when you do that shit. It's not okay. Just give it and walk away. Okay? If you live your purpose, no day is ever work. I don't work. I love my life. I love every day. My husband goes, "You love your job more than me." I go, "Baby, it's not the same." I am in love with the purpose I've been called to do, but it hasn't been easy. Okay. Are you with me? Are you enjoying? I'm enjoying speaking to you today. Sorry, Abisha, I did not follow the slide deck. He knows that. Okay. I no longer say sorry for showing up. I do not say sorry for showing up because I show up with grace. I'm a queen. Okay? Not I'm a queen, worship me. No, 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 no. I'm grounded in knowing who I am. And let me tell you something. I actually love myself with all my faults. I am dyslexic. I've written 5 books. My first book, I didn't want to open the feedback from the person who was helping me because I was scared it was going to tell me that I am stupid. Anyone have dyslexia? Okay, let me tell you something about dyslexia. You need it in the new world because AI thinks like everybody, but doesn't think like a dyslexic. So the brain that you want to have right now is a dyslexic brain. Thank you so much. I've got dyspraxia. I walk into doors, walls, and floors, which is why you call me Bridget Jones. So I have bruises all over, not because I've been bashed around, but because I can't see straight. Don't know how many times I've ramped a pavement with my car. I'll tell you one more gift. So am I a leader? Okay. So I work with CEOs who I love because they're just human too. You know that? Okay. In actual fact, they sleep less at night because they're more worried about what they've got to look after than not. And then they have no one to tell what they're worried about. Nonetheless, I write a proposal to this company. I told you I'm dyslexic, right? So I'm aligning their executive team over the next 12 months, and I'm going to shift them together. But I don't write shift. Do you know what I write? Shit. I'm going to teach them how to shit together. You know, the Romans did that back in Rome. They all sat in a shack together. But to teach an executive team how to shit together is probably not something the board would sign off on. Come on, you must love this. Now, if you do not love yourself and accept that you're going to do weird shit like that every now and again, you would be mortified in the arena, crawl to the sidelines, and hide in the stands. Am I right? So Phil phones. He goes, "Christina, we really like that proposal." I was like, "Thanks, Phil. Are we going to move ahead?" He said, "Yeah, we are." He said, "But you have to change one word." I'm going, "Of course, Phil, anything. What's wrong?" He goes, "I cannot tell the board you're going to teach us how to shit together. So please, if you could change shit to shift, we'll sign it off." I went, "Phil, it's my pleasure." He goes, "Thanks, Christina." I said, "And the other gift I'm going to give you is I was sent to teach you to have grace and not to step into judgment, because I'm going to make a lot of fucking mistakes while I work with you in spelling, and you're going to love me." He did love me. He still does. He's retired now. We did not teach them to shit. They shifted. Yay! I had to lead in that moment. Because it would be easy to just make an excuse, wouldn't it? Sorry, that was my secretary who typed shit. I'll just slap her around the head. Sorry, whatever. No, I can't make a mistake. I would not see shit. I see shift. And let me tell you, spell check isn't going to fix that shit for you either, because shit is shit, right? No apologies. You walk through it and you own it. Because it's not a reflection of my worth. Hear me really clearly. It is a gift that I have that keeps giving. And no matter what I want to do to change it, it won't change. How many books have I written? 5. The first 3, there's some gifts. I said to my team, I'm going to pull Grow Me off the shelf. They said, no, you're not. I said, there's mistakes there. They said, people's lives get changed when they read that book. You will not touch it. I said, should I rewrite it? They said, no. I said, I could fix the mistakes now. AI is my friend. No. See, let me say something to you. The only way to lead is to lead who you are. The only way to have strong, grounded conversations with others and leaders is to be grounded in who you are. Do you know, I'm only 5 foot tall. I have heels on today. But I have no qualms in generously calling executives out when they are not behaving okay. That's why I never work for them. They pay me to do that shit. It's fun, eh? They pay me to do that shit. They do, right? Why? Because they want to be better and they cannot see it happening. But I'm not there to tell them they are bad, am I? Because I can show up with my Ninja Barbie and do some hectic shit, let me tell you. Sorry, shit's my favorite word. I'm not using the F word, which is good because I can. Australia's hectic. Do you know they swear all the time? I want to be a better leader. But I can only do that if I can master me. Do you know that since I have transformed in myself, my husband thinks I'm the most sexy thing he's ever seen. We've been together for 18 years. He's like, you are gorgeous. I'm like, babe, that's a bit weird, man. We've got grandchildren. Okay? Do I am? See, when we lead from a place where we can surrender the stuff that no longer serves us, we become powerful because we don't get hooked on the things that would generally make us turn into a Ninja Barbie and slice someone up. Which, by the way, takes away from your leadership credibility. And please, if you've got a problem with someone, don't ask them to change. Sort your shit out first. Because the change is not in somebody else, it is in you. You want to lead in this industry? You start working on you. You want to stop exchanging your husbands like shoes? You got to work on you. And I'm not saying this from a place of not good enough. You are worthy of belonging. And maybe the call to action is that we start leading as a cohort of women and men. I love the men in the room today. I want to honor you. Thank you for coming. Ladies, give them a round of applause. Time up? Okay. My time's up. Thanks, Abisha.
Yeah. You're not teaching anyone here how to shit together. I'm telling you that right now. Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you.
Was that good? Lovely. Before we go on to the next segment, there's some mics that are going to be roaming around. Does anybody have any questions? Just raise your hand for Christina.
Come on.
Come on. Don't be shy. There's a question over here, Poppy, in the front. Online, you're welcome to ask us questions as well. We're ready to take them.
There's a question too. So there's a question. Do we have a question up front here? So awareness is the first gift. If I can be aware that I'm turning into a Ninja Barbie, that's the first gift. The second thing is Ninja Barbies, and when I'm wearing my armor, I will feel, man, that was not the best of me. I actually feel it. And the third thing is if I feel nothing when I did that, if I go numb, then I know my Ninja Barbie's shown up. And if I am so disconnected from somebody else, then my Ninja Barbie's shown up. See, to lead means I live in a state of connection. And I'm going to quickly define it, and then I'll go to the next question. Connection is the energy that exists between us. When I feel seen, heard, and valued, and you are seen, heard, and valued. And in that moment, we can give and receive feedback and have a conversation that's not comfortable, and still we're connected because then we have partnership, sustenance, and joy from the relationship. So if I'm in connection, I am leading. When I'm not in connection, I am disregarding, I am judging, I am humiliating, and I'm shaming. And you know what? I'm doing that to myself first, and we always give what we have. Don't feel bad if you're happening to you. It's transformation. It's a call to rise. Was that okay? Next question was up front here.
Hi. Can you please share the name of your first book?
My first book was Oscar the Pufferfish Owns His Pop. See, so I've got to recognize when I've popped, and let me tell you something, the only way to reduce what I give away that's not okay is to learn that I can have empathy and love, and for somebody else to stand next to me saying, it's okay. All right, so that was the first book, Oscar the Pufferfish Owns His Pop. It's awful. It's got lots of mistakes in. We had another question up front here.
Thank you. From a man's perspective, but not mansplaining, I swear. It's not the right place. I just want to know, with working with a team of women, which I do, my whole department is teams, my wife, my sister, my mother are all really strong women. How do you go about working in a team with women where you want to be inclusive but you also sometimes, you as the leader, you don't want to belittle them. So I just want to know, what is a good way to work with the team without taking their power away or letting them feel that power has been taken away from a man's side? Thank you.
Okay, good. Yes, because if you're doing too much connection, that can be a problem. Sorry, ladies. Respect. No. Respect. See, I'm going to say this. Kindness needs a spine. Okay? Kindness needs a spine. So, if you're a guy, please don't do what my husband does, is, why did we do this? Question mark. I'll go, get away from me, Satan. I'm not talking to you right now. Seriously, I just ignore those emails, and he's my financial person. If he said to me, hi Tina, I can see you've made an investment in XYZ. I need to allocate it in the accounts. Can you explain to me what we've purchased and why we've purchased it so I can actually put it to the correct coding? Love, John. I'll go, John, you're my hero, man. It's in language. Respect. Just respect. Simple. Speak to me as if I'm a human being. I am not your mate. That's what they use in Australia. Do not call me that. I am the person working alongside you. We're not in the pub together. Actually, if they only serve sparkling wine in a pub or some champagne, you will get me there, okay? But it's not where I want to play. So Respect me, I will bring what I have. Disrespect me and humiliate me, and you have a riot on your hands if there's a group of women in the business together, right? Unless we've got some weird stuff happening where we fight each other, girls. Stop that shit, okay? So I hope I've answered your question. Respect. Simple.
Wow, Richard, you're in trouble. The way Sam was nodding her head.
There's one more question. There's one more, two more questions. Two questions.
We'll take two more questions.
After that, we've got to go to the lady who spoke. Okay.
Thank you so much for an inspirational but also very authentic speech. We really, really appreciate that. I just want to go beyond just leadership within a workplace and look at some of the challenges that we face in South Africa, especially from a GBVF perspective,
Yes.
and especially in terms of fatherless boys, and
Yes.
us as women finding ourselves now having to fill the role of both a father and a mother for our boys. Now, within that, what kind of guidance would you also give us when, as women, we are leading from a point of brokenness? How do we handle that? And what also for us currently is an issue is the fact that currently when you look at even birth certificates in South Africa, only 34% of birth certificates have their father's names.
Wow.
So is it possible then for you to guide us on how to deal with this duplicity of roles and also coming from a space of brokenness? Thanks, as a woman.
Thank you for that.
Great question. Well done, Councillor Jackie.
Thank you for that. I want to just share a story and then I'm going to give you the insight. I carried my brokenness as a weapon. You see, my first husband was a riot squad policeman, and he treated me as badly as the work he was doing. He dragged me around by my hair. Sorry, I'm sharing that with you. I married him again, so he's actually number 2. Because an abused woman goes back more times than they leave, because they don't actually know how to live without that control. Okay? So I raised my daughter on my own. And then I wanted a baby, but never a husband. And man, I couldn't pay for IVF, let's be real. This is back like 22 years ago. So I found a really smart engineer, and we had a kid. And I didn't know he was bipolar or an alcoholic, and my life was quite stressful. I'm just sharing these highlights for you, right? So do you think I could trust a man? No. So I carried that with me, which made me work very hard to take care of my children. And when my son was going through what he was, I arrived at the family counseling session. It was either that or we were going to get into deep legal shit because my son wasn't going to school for 2 years. Okay? And now remember, the Englishman has helped me raise him. So I arrive with these suitcases. I'm going to go and do 3 days of training somewhere. I'm going to do work. And I'm like, lady, I've got a town car fetching me. Let's do this bloody thing and let's get over. And she looks at me and she says to me, do you think you could work less? Now, for any one of you who have taken care of your children as a single parent, tell me, is that even an option in your mind? No. Are you out of your mind, lady? And then I gave the African woman stare. And I said to her, no man has ever shown me they can show up for me. Now my son is sitting there and my new husband, who's very gentle, they're both sobbing. The tears are literally squirting out of their eyes. But I was numb, Ninja Barbie. And then she phoned me afterwards and said, I'm diagnosing you with PTSD. You need to heal. If you do not heal, your son will not fulfill his life's destiny. You are the barrier. Geez, I was angry. I said, I know Dr. Brene Brown's work. She said, I don't give a shit if you know God or whatever you know. It's not what you know, it's who you are. Sort your shit out. I got a therapist, and I worked through acceptance commitment therapy, which I've written about in The Glass Angel. And I took every story. So I want to just share one story with you. That first husband of mine, he didn't show up like that to hurt me. He showed up like that because that was all he knew. Okay? So for me to hate him and to carry the scars of brokenness in my life and to be angry for the rest of my life and bitter, it was poisoning me. And in actual fact, we were 23, he was 23, I was 21, we were kids. So I give him forgiveness and I give myself love. And because of that, I now raise a boy who knows that his mom is grounded in who she is. And I love him, and I allow him to make choices, and I guide him, but I do not need him to be anything but who he is. Because I am who I am, and I love him for who he is. I have boundaries with him, but I do not give him the pain that I was carrying as a gift so that he's got more pain to bear. He's got his own shit to sort out. So I want to be a mother who exemplifies forgiveness, grace, boundaries, kindness, wholesomeness, wholeheartedness. Because let me tell you, when I embrace that stuff, I unlock my family's potential. So I hope I'm answering your question, because you cannot lead from a place of pain in your home with your son. And ladies, I was very proud. I checked myself into Unitas Hospital in Pretoria when I had my son. I blow waved my hair that day. His biological dad was in court with his ex-wife or whatever the hell they were doing. I paid for my son's birth. I paid for his clothes. I paid for his life. And I will do it again. But I want him to grow up being a man who is understanding, who is grounded in who he is. And let me tell you, he is. It's quite scary. I said to him the other day, you better date an older woman because the girls your age really don't get you, darling. Because he goes to his girlfriend, let's talk about what's okay and what's not okay. And she's going, dude, I just want to go to the pub. And he's going, no, we've got to talk about it. Let me tell you, when he finds that woman that's destined to walk next to him, or the man, I don't care what he wants, whatever his destiny looks like, I just need him to know that who he is always going to be good enough. But he has to not lead from pain. And he has to own what he goes to see a therapist every second week to work on his shit. Is that not amazing? So give them the tools to lead who they are, not who you want them to be. And surrender your pain so that you can lead from a place of love. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Ladies, I'm going to ask...
I need one more question. There is one more question, Abisa.
Can we have it real quick? We've got 1 minute.
We'll be
1
quick.
minute.
I will keep it short.
Mine was just, and thank you very much. Very interesting. Really enjoyed your talk. I just wanted to know, in your, experience, what are the 3 most important aspects of a good leader?
Kind is clear. Clear is kind. You want to be a good leader? Get clear. Please don't be nice. Please stop that shit and stop trying to save everyone. Okay? Kind is clear. Grace wins every time. Give people grace and give yourself grace. People are imperfect. They just bring in what they have. Okay? And the very last one is, oh my gosh, there's so many. Work on yourself. I can't stress that more. Leadership is not what you know, it is who you are. Leadership is not an MBA. Please stop doing that shit. It's not an MBA, it's not a doctorate, stop that rubbish. That's an education. Leadership shows up in the toughest times when you have to lead. So if you haven't actually learned how to lead yourself, how can you show up in that tough time?
Wonderful. Round of applause for Christina Foxwell. Guys, that was phenomenal. Women in print, show some love.
Thanks, ladies.
Yes.
Thanks, Jen.
Yes.